Fit in 10 Nation, it is day 67 of the Fit in 10 challenge. Day 67. Man, I keep saying this, I know, but it's like, I still cannot believe how fast this challenge has gone by. I actually remember doing these videos like it was yesterday. That was for the challenge before this. And I actually get them mixed up. Like, that's how fast the time goes by. Anyways, let's get into some questions here right away. This person says, Mark, since this question is specific to my situation, I don't know if you want to answer this on video. Well, I'm going to. Or if it's better to just reply through email. This is a good question actually for everybody. Returning to post-injury form. When you said that it was easier to return to your pre-back injury deadlift strength than it is for someone who is just starting to deadlift, it got me thinking, as I tend to do a lot. If one can return to the original strength within a shorter period of time after not lifting compared to someone who is a beginner, is it true for endurance work too? As far as I know, it's not. It's not true for endurance. Now, that may there might be a little bit of carryover. Like, there might be some carryover, but certainly not to the degree as there would be with strength training. With strength training, there's sort of two parts to it. There's a neural adaptation, and that takes a long time to go away. So when you adapt to learning a movement and you become more succinct with doing that movement, you become more efficient and effective at doing that movement pattern. That sticks around for quite a while. And also, when you are weight training, you're creating more nuclei in the muscle fiber, and those nuclei are responsible for protein synthesis, which is like creating more muscle tissue, essentially. So the more weight training that you're doing, essentially, the more nuclei you're creating, and those stick around. Okay, if you stop training, the nuclei still sticks around. All right, so but with endurance training, now there's different parts to endurance, right? I mean, we talk about muscular endurance, we talk about cardiorespiratory endurance, these types of things, and these are not the same thing, right? So without going into too much detail, because I could probably speak about this for quite a while, you know, you have to really ask yourself, what is endurance, right? What do we mean by that? Because there's different components to it. But usually the bottleneck it's basically getting the oxygen to the tissue at the end of the day, right? Because that's what you need. And so you know, when you can become more efficient at getting the oxygen to the tissue and then getting the carbon dioxide out of the body, and that's obviously, you know, we're basically going from, you know, outside down the trachea to the lungs, you know, from the lungs through a small area of tissue to the bloodstream, from the bloodstream through a small area of tissue to whatever muscles, right? I think that's pretty accurate point from oxygen from the outside to your muscle cells, right? That all takes time, and it doesn't take a long time, but it takes time, and there's only so much that can happen. Now you can become better at that, okay, with endurance activity, right? So that to me is really as far as I know, is the bottleneck with endurance work. And I don't know of any like memory in that regard. Okay, I think you build it up and then you lose it if you stop. So I don't know of any data out there to suggest that there is memory like there is with strength training. Okay. Short answer, but I hope it does answer your question. Okay, let's talk about food of the day. And it's these guys, yeah, almonds. So almonds are, well, like most nuts, they're 50% fat, 49% fat. Okay, all nuts are about 50% fat, with the exception of walnuts and maybe another one, but most nuts are 50% fat. Almonds are slightly higher in carbs, they're 22%, but 12% are fiber. Okay, and they're about 20% protein. They are very high in vitamin E, like very, very high, and also manganese and magnesium. Okay, they got decent amounts of B2, copper, and what else? Phosphorus. Okay, they have been linked with, or actually no, I think there's mechanistic data to show this. There is, it can lower LDL, okay, so bad cholesterol essentially. There's definitely mechanistic data or I don't know if there's a very strong link, possibly mechanistic data to show that it lowers blood pressure. Okay, I don't know how controlled the study was, but or these studies were. And of course, it's got a satiating effect because it's relatively high in protein. It's not high in protein, but it's got some protein in there. It's got fiber in there, and it's also got fat. Those are like basically the three most satiating, food components, right? So I always read about these just to remind myself of some stuff, and I read that eating almonds helps promote weight loss. Now, don't take that to the bank, because eating extra calories, eating extra fat, and eating extra calories in general, okay, with the exception of insoluble fiber, is not going to help you lose weight, okay? But indirectly, maybe substituting this in for say other sources of food will help you to lose weight, because you'll be taking in less food in the day. Okay, you'll feel more satiated, and you might make better food choices as a result of that satiation. So I think that's where it comes from. So don't listen when you see things like eating nuts helps you lose weight. Don't take that literally. Okay, don't think I'm going to start eating more nuts. I'm going to eat nuts all day long, and I'm going to lose weight. No, it's not going to happen. Okay. Somebody mentioned to me too, it's that's great that you mentioned about, it's got vitamin E and magnesium and copper and blah, 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 but what does all that mean? Well, these are all essential nutrients, okay? Without going into too much detail, these are all essential nutrients. And with that being said, so you have to have them in your diet, okay? They're important. You want to make sure, when you see that something's high in vitamin E and magnesium and copper, these are all good things, okay? These are all essential things that you need, that you have to get through your diet. All right, so it's in your interest to get extra, especially if you are active, okay, which you guys are all active, especially now. The other thing I want to mention too, you need fat in your diet, right? You need fat in your diet. And one of the most important reasons why you need fat is because you need to be able to assimilate fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin D and vitamin E, okay? And I think vitamin K is fat-soluble as well. Man, I can't believe I'm not totally sure about that. I have to look that up. Okay, so almonds, great source of fat, not just any kind of fat, but particularly monounsaturated fat, which is more of the fats that we need. Okay. All right. Message of the day: compare what you say with what you do. Compare what you say. Actually, let me rephrase that. Compare what you want, okay, and the things that you do with what you actually do. Okay, so a perfect example of this is my diet. I know, because I've been doing it for so long, I cannot journal and I know exactly what I'm eating. But I'm going to give you guys a better example that might relate to you more. I thought this with my work, okay, so I started to journal how much time I'm putting into my work, because I'm like, man, I'm working all the time, working so hard. But when I started to journal it, I was like, I'm not quite as efficient as I could be at all. Not nearly to the degree. I'd probably say I'm about maybe 60 or 70% of what I thought I was. Okay? And I already knew I wasn't totally efficient. So, what your memory will tell you versus what actually happens is totally different. So you've got to journal out your food, especially in the beginning of this. Okay? When you've been doing this for a long time, it might be a little bit different. But, as it stands right now, you got to journal. That's the only way you're going to know. You can't go by memory. I guarantee you it happens with every single client I sit down with. When they journal stuff out, they tell me, oh my God, I didn't realize I was eating this way. When I look back, a week ago, or 5 days ago, or even 3 days ago, I didn't realize it. Your memory will you're going to want to remember what you want to remember, okay? It's just the way it is, okay? And I really found this out through, when I'm doing my own personal work here. So, all right, so that's it. Jesus, 9 minutes, man. Okay. Less than a week, you guys. We got to go hard. You give it everything you got. You want to do some extra cardio, do some extra cardio. Make sure you book your scan with me. They're up, okay? Just go to www.calendly.com/trainonmain and you will see the Fit in 10 calendar there, okay? Book in your scan with me. If you can't get in at those times, let me know, okay? If I haven't heard from you for a while, I've been bugging you, okay? Come and do your scan. Don't feel bad if you're falling off the wagon. Doesn't matter. Just come. You paid for it. Come get your scan. At least come talk to me. I'm sure there are some things I can help you with, okay? All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. Another beautiful day. It's warm, and I am sitting in shorts and a shirt right now, and I'm actually sweating. Okay. Anyways, talk to you guys later. See you guys. Oh, one other thing. We are going to have a weight training session this Saturday at 10:15, okay? So that's coming as well. So put that in your calendar and show up.